Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, The Healing Corner with me, Zizo. Today the topic of discussion is purpose. What is purpose? And I will be sharing a bit of my story. So if you have not subscribed, please subscribe, please like, and please comment. Let's dive right into it. Okay guys, so firstly I'll just share a bit of my story for many of those who don't really know who I am. Alright, so I was raped by my father from the age of 7 years until I was 13, and when it started happening it was in 2001 up until 2007. So we all know that in those times it was not like now where gender-based violence is spoken about, everyone is vocal about it. So I was like, when it started happening, I did not know that what was happening to me was wrong, so I kept quiet. And now in a later stage I realized just the way that he was able to manipulate me into keeping quiet about the situation. So that is how I kept quiet all those years while he was doing this horrendous act on me. And then I got pregnant at 13, and even then when I was pregnant I was like, I don't even know what this is, you know, I don't know how a person gets pregnant, I don't know what happens for a person to get pregnant, what is pregnancy, you know. So my mother had to explain to me what pregnancy was, and that's how I got to understand. That's how I got to understand what pregnancy is and what was happening to me. So I lost the child. For many of you who will ask what happened to the baby, I lost the child, a miscarriage, and life basically continued, you know. My dad was just arrested on that day that we went to go help arrest him, you know, and that was it. And then the following day, or I think it was a weekend, Monday, he was out on bail and he carried on with his life. But then here I was, a 14-year-old girl, starting adolescent stage and not knowing what to do with themselves. I was engulfed in guilt, I was engulfed in denial, I was engulfed in fear, you know. I feared him because now I thought, wow, I called the police on him, what is he going to do to me, you know. And it was just a fear that I felt that I lived with all my life. And so I decided that I'm just going to be this person who's just going to live life as life goes. I did not have a purpose. I did not even understand what purpose was in 2008, you know. So what I wanted was just for this pain to go away. I was feeling this pain that I could not even explain. I was deep in depression and a lot was going on, you know. As I said earlier, I was starting to see boys. Boys were starting to see me, and it was just a roller coaster ride of emotions. And I was scared of boys, I was scared of men, you know, and life was just going on a downhill for me. But I needed to survive in the way that I survived, you know, and it carried on. It carried on for many more years after that. And so in 2017, I was in res, all alone in PE, and I was so depressed. And this time I was sure that I was going to kill myself and it was going to work out, and I needed God to come through for me, you know. So I asked God that, God, I'm going to do this, and I'm sure with these pills that I'm going to take now, I'm going to be able to kill myself. So you had better do something for me before I do this. So right at that moment, God came through for me. Like, I cannot explain that feeling. I cannot explain how he did it, but he did it, you know. It was just a moment. I think it was it's what people would call an epiphany, you know. It just happened. God came through and he just told me to forgive this person. you know. And I asked God, like, what do you mean that I have to forgive this person? He hasn't even apologized. It's been over 10 years now that I am still living in this pain that I'm feeling, and this person is living his life. So what am I supposed to do? Like, how am I supposed to forgive this person? Because he's not going to come here. We're not talking to each other. He's not going to come to me and say, Zizo, I'm sorry. How do I do it? And God, guys, you know, when God really wants to do something, he does it. Because he was like, you need to forgive this person, because you cannot do my purpose if you do not forgive this person. That's when I realized that, in as much as we say that I won't die until I know what my purpose is, until I've fulfilled my purpose, but is the purpose that you have for yourself what God wants for you? Is it what God wants for you? You know? And so God wanted me to heal his people, to teach people about forgiveness, and to just be vocal about what is happening behind closed doors. And that is exactly what I'm doing now. You know, God put it clearly to me that, Zizo, Mdanam, you cannot teach people about forgiveness if you yourself have not forgiven. You have to practice what you preach. So I literally took a chair that was empty. After some time, not on that same night, I slept that night, and then after some time I was always thinking about this, but God wants me to forgive this person, God. And there were things happening, man, just showing me about this forgiveness during that time. And a day came, and I just put, when I was ready, a day just came, and then I put a chair in front of me, and I put him there, and I was like, okay, you are my dad. Empty chair, you are going to be my dad. So I was like, Dada, I forgive you, and I need to release the pain. I need to release the anger that I have towards you, so that I can start this journey. I don't know what this journey is, but I need to start it because it looks promising for me. It makes me feel good. So I'm releasing the pain and the anger that I have towards you, and I am starting this new chapter in my life that I want to be excited about, that is making me feel excited, that I want to have the same feeling as it is giving me, you know. So that's how it went. And the following day, I kid you not, I woke up so like I was like everything was like, I felt so much lighter. And then things just they started happening, guys. They just started happening. I had started writing about my story, but there was not a finishing as to how will I finish it. But God showed me that this is the end of it. This is the end of it. We are closing this chapter. You were raped, you went through depression, and now we need to start a journey of full healing. And we closed it up with forgiveness. And you have forgiven this person. There's a lot of other people that you need to forgive too. But now we are closing this chapter. We are starting a new one. And I was like, phew. And things happened, guys. Things happened. People, I remember God telling me exactly, I was on my way back home from PE, and God was like, I need you to write this down. It was just after Women's Day. It was on the 10th of August 2017. He was like, I need you to write this down on Facebook. Write it like this and post it. I wrote it, guys. I wrote exactly. Imagine I'm in a taxi, I'm listening to my music, and then God just says, write this. I write this. The response I got from people was impeccable. Like, people were like, how's this? Or we chill with you and you don't tell us this. And I'm thinking, God did not want me to share just yet. And I shared this, and people were calling me, interview started. How are you? Like, how did you get over it? You know, those questions and everything like that. And then someone came through and was like, you need to write a book about this. And I was like, God, and you know, I had already written about this. The manuscript was there. I just needed to type it out. And excuse me, what I needed to add was now this forgiveness part, this route that I have taken. Otherwise the story is there, my journal is full, my diary is full. I need to type this out and give it to this person. And guys, now with the editors and all of that, I needed to relive my story, like the process of writing. I will get into that too sometime. When, like, the process of writing a book, a story, especially your story, especially if it is painful, you know. So it was a whole process. It was a whole process, and it just went on. It just went on. Things happened for me, and I was like, Kanti Thixo, how are you? Unjani Kanti? You know, appearances happened, and I was speaking. No one was telling me, okay, Zizo, say this. God was using himself through me, because I was like, Thixo, I am so shy. I can't do this. Like, you are asking like a bit of much from me, like a bit of too much from me. Like, I cannot do this. And God was like, you will do it. I want you to speak to these people, tell them about forgiveness. And I felt at that time, the Lord felt like, for so many people, he felt as though between me and this person, what stand is that this person is better, and Uzizo needs to go and close that gap. So I needed to teach people about forgiveness, and God put it so clear in my head and in my heart what forgiveness is. He said that, you know what, forgiveness is for you, not for the other person, because that person is living their own life. Sometimes people, they do not even know that they've hurt you, and you are living with that pain, you are living with that anger, you are living with that anguish that this person hurt you. Meanwhile, they don't even know that they've hurt you. And 110% of times, people who have hurt you will not come up to you and say, they will not come and apologize. So you need to know that Lendo Lena, I am doing it for myself, for me to find healing, for me to be able to move on with life. Because the more that you do not forgive, the more you dig a deeper wound for yourself, you know. And once I got to realize that, I was like, okay, God, you got me. I will do this. Because now the lightness that I felt when I have forgiven this person, the burden that was lifted off my shoulders, like, I can live like this forever, Mos. And that is the way that I wanted to live my life. And that is when I knew that I've hit purpose. That is what purpose is for me. And we need to understand that purpose is not from our understanding. It's from God. God created us. He knows why he put us on this earth. So he put us for his purpose. Even a person who gets born today and dies tomorrow, that person lived for a purpose. Maybe they needed to make the mother stronger or something like that. They needed, you know, that child who dies, they needed to do something in that short period of their life. So that is why God is like, purpose is from me. And people just go around in life just picking here and there and there and there and there, and they end up with a lot of things because they do not listen to what God has to say about our lives, and they just decide, okay, I'm just gonna do this because it's good for me. Gandhi, it is not all about that. We need to listen to God about his purpose for our lives. Especially when you have given your life to Christ, you need to listen to him about what he wants for your life. And then from there, you let him direct it. So that is what I do. That is my work. I preach purpose. I preach forgiveness. I preach healing. That is basically what I do. You will see, you will get to know me deeper in terms of how I healed, you know, from the depression, from feeling suicidal, from the denial, from not forgiving, you know, what it did to me physically, what it did to me emotionally, you know, because those things, they can get to you like in a way that we cannot imagine. So that is a purpose. It is of God, and it is of what he wants to do for your life and with your life. So allow him to to do his purpose with you. Like, you know, allowing God to do things for you puts you at ease. You relax and you're like, God, take over, do it. You know, even now, I'm not working. It's the lockdown. I can't gather people and be like, come guys, because people will be infected. I can't do it. But God is using me in another way. Here I am speaking to you guys about forgiveness, about purpose. And I want you, when you finish watching this video, look at yourself. Think of all the people that you need to forgive. You know, in my journey, I always thought I needed to forgive my father. But when I realized that there are many other people that had an impact in my life that I needed to forgive. And when you forgive, I always tell people that when you forgive, you need to put yourself back into that place. It's as if you're writing a book. So if you need to forgive your 7-year-old self, you need to go back to the 7-year-old you and talk to the 7-year-old you and say that you forgive Zizo. I forgive you for doing this, for keeping quiet. I forgive you for being careless, if I can put it that way, you know, for not minding. I forgive you for that. Then you move on to your teenage years. Zizo, I forgive you for allowing yourself to be put in this kind of positions. And you move on to your adult life. Zizo, I forgive you for this and this and this. And you go to your family members too. You know, and you don't, with God showing me, you can actually put a person there on a chair without them being there and say that, Mama, I forgive you for this and this and that. By the time you speak to your mother, you already chilled about it. You're not fighting, you're not angry about it. And once you release the pain, you release the anger, you're ready for anything. Anything can come. I don't care if anyone can do anything to me right now. I'll be like, I will take my time to be angry about it, but I will never be in that position of unforgiveness, because that is where darkness is. That is where we are able to slip into depression, because we have not forgiven ourselves for putting ourselves in those kind of positions and the person that actually did you wrong. So that is exactly what we are dealing with here. That is what purpose is, basically what God wants for your life. Ask yourself, ask God to pray about it. God, what is it that you want for my life? And God will show you. He will definitely show you what he wants for you, because each and every single person on this earth, God has put for a reason. So you need to ask God, what is it? What is it that you wanted for me? Because you love me so much. And God will surely reveal it to you. So that is your assignment. Please do that. Pray about it. Ask God to reveal what purpose is for you, so that you do not end up in a dangerous place where you are just taking everything. If one person is doing that, you think it's for you. One person does that, you think it's for you. Learn to pray and listen to God, and you need to understand that God he doesn't answer now. He takes a while to answer. So we need to learn to listen to what God says about our lives. And yeah, that's it. That is what purpose is for me. There's a lot, guys, coming up. We'll be talking mental health. We'll be digging more into forgiveness. There's a lot that I want us to get into. I know it's deep for the first 3 videos, but that is what we are here for. We are here to heal, and we cannot go around and say, okay, we're not going to talk about this. We will talk about it. And I feel like I should have made a disclaimer, like, to everyone who knows me, to my parents, to my family who's going to be watching this, like, there's no off topic, guys. We'll be talking. You'll get to know me in another way that you never knew me. We will get to know, because there were times that I was deep into, into things. I don't want to, into things, and we need to talk about it to be able to heal. It is a healing corner. To be able to heal, we need to talk about these things. And I cannot say that this is a healing corner where I'm not able to talk about my problems, what I've been through, you know, because in this way I am able to tell people about what I have been through, and we work through it together to help them too, because whether we like it or not, as people, we more or less go through the same things. You know, depression is real and it sort of happens the same way to everyone. So we need to talk about that. I was once depressed. We need to talk, how did I get out of that depression hole, you know? So yes, that is it for this video. Please do not forget to subscribe. Please do not forget to like. Please do not forget to comment, and call your friends and their friends to call their friends, and families to call their families to come and join us while we take on this journey. It is going to be fun and beautiful, because once we are finished, we are done with most part of the healing, you'll be feeling fabulous and cute and ready to bangena. Thank you. Bye.